Hello crafters and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back to everyone who is a subscriber. I'd like to say a big hello to all the new people who are joining. Many of you are muckers. It's lovely to have you here. I'm filling in for Sam. Usually she does the 2 p.m. on a Wednesday live. What I generally do is a Wednesday morning at 10:30. So it's exciting to be here at 2 o'clock. It's a little bit nerve-wracking waiting to get to 2 p.m. But I got lots of housework done. And my daughter, Alicia, and my grandchildren, Jane, hi Jane, and Arlen, hi Arlen, they gave Nana a call while she was having early lunch, so it distracted me. And then right before I was coming on live, my neighbour called with a big bouquet of flowers. So that was awesome. So I'm a little bit out of breath. So please do excuse. So we have lots of lovely people in the chat today. There are 20 of you at the moment. So thank you very much for joining and for joining in on the chat as well and leaving comments. I'm going to have a quick look through, like I always do, at who has joined us in the chat and say hello to everyone. I just flicked the screen off. So I think the first one in was Sharon Spencer. Good afternoon, Sharon. We have Jeanette and Alison. We also have Hazel and Becky. We have James. Good morning, James, all the way in the USA. Benita, our lovely moderator, is here today as well, moderating for me. We have Deb as well from DJM Hallett, a fabulous crafter. We have lots of really good crafters who are YouTubers, social media content creators as well. So shout out to all of you. We have, let's see who else. I think that's everyone. Oh, we have Deb. Deb Merchant is here. Hello. And we have Marie Hopkins. Good afternoon. We have Donna from DD Paper Crafts, another awesome crafter. We have Alison. Did I say hi to Alison Crothers? And let's see who else. Have I covered everyone? No, I haven't. We have Maureen York. Kay Rogers is here as well. Hi, Kay. We have Lynn Price and Sharon Ward. Thumbs up for everyone. Sharon is reminding you. Yes, please do give the video a thumbs up. It helps to push this live out into the algorithm with YouTube, and it's a great way to support your creators on YouTube and social media. Giving a thumbs up, subscribing, which costs nothing for you. It really does help to benefit us and get us seen more in social media. And I've got lots of people saying, given a thumbs up already. Caroline Barnes is here as well. Hi, Caroline. We have Deborah Linden. Cynthia Smith is here, as well as Julie Williams, Sharon Spencer, Lynn Harrison, Jenny Valance. Hi, Simone. Our lovely Jenny from Australia, from Warrnambool. Did I get it right, Jenny? Probably not. Good evening to you, Jenny. Yeah, making me say the name again. Do you know what? You're going to have to send me a private message on Messenger saying it out so I can practice it and get it right. But I love the fact that you're here. And I really appreciate whether you're from Australia, America, from the UK, Ireland, and everywhere in between. Thank you so much for joining me. I think we've covered everyone now. I see Maria Crossland is here, and Handmade by Shirley, the lovely Shirley, another fabulous content creator. She was live yesterday evening, and she made some beautiful cards. I caught a little bit in between and went back and watched. Another lovely creator, an upcoming YouTuber, really fabulous. I recommend, if you haven't seen Handmade by Shirley, do pop over, have a look, and maybe subscribe. I think you'll like the content that she creates. Who else? We have Pauline O'Donoghue is here, and I think we have Pauline Gosher, is that correct? I hope it is, and Carmen Vogels. So now we've 34 in the chat, and good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. I have some fun products to play with, especially the floral pop-up design. You may have spotted what I'm going to be using by the thumbnail. Normally I just leave my Live with Simone thumbnail up, but I made up a thumbnail so you could see what I'm going to be using. I've been dying to play with this pop-up. I just love the idea of it. For one, you can use it as it's intended. You can also use the pop-up and put other things on it. And I just think it's so beautiful, and especially for someone who is unwell, maybe in hospital. I don't think they really like for you to bring in flowers. So putting flowers in or on a card is a great way around that. But I've been really looking forward to playing with this. Next Friday, I'm going to play with the butterfly one. I have a little something different. And you know me, I'm going to do something different, even if it's just putting it in to a different card style than what was originally, I think, anticipated that you would use. So I have a fun gatefold style card that I'm going to use this pop-up in, because if you can put a pop-up in a card, why not put two? The more the merrier. So I'm using that. I'm also using my Clouds 3D embossing folder, and I have a couple of sentiment stamps as well that I'm going to use in this card. There's a link to Craftworld down below. It's an affiliate link. So if you're purchasing anything from Craftworld, I'd love you to go via my link. It will cost you nothing extra, and it really helps me. It allows me to purchase all these lovely Made to Surprise products that I have behind me. Although I am Made to Surprise ambassador, it is certainly a choice. I purchase these products because I love using them. It's my genre. It's what I love to use. So, you know, I hope that you are of the same as well, that you love the products, and that my videos and lives are going to spark some creativity within you. So now I think we have everyone said hello to. We've talked about the products, links, and all the info that you want are in the description. There's also Buy Me a Coffee down there. So if you'd like to support my channel, you can use that. There's Revolut, PayPal, and there's also Super Chat and Super Thanks down there. So, you know, knock yourself out. Right, let's move down to the table. So I do apologize for the lighting as per usual. It's something I'm working on, and I hope everything looks good. Benita, if there is any issues with sound or vision, please do let me know. I think everything does look good though. I haven't seen anything to say that there's any issues. Come on, Simone, you never used a die as intended, Kay said. Well, you know, why do normal when you can do something different? I just like to give you options. I kind of feel if I'm going to be a creator on YouTube using these fabulous products, I would do something a little different. Now, if you want inspiration and you like using these, or just card inspiration, you can pop over to my Facebook group, which is called Your Cards and Crafts. You can also pop over to Sam's group. It's called Muckers. It's Mixed Up Crafters group. There's so much fantastic inspiration on that as well with using the products. So yeah, that's where I'm inspired by. Benita said it's all good. That's great. So I'm going to rock on and get on with stuff. Helen Patterson has joined us as well. Hi, Helen. Hope you're well. Hearing you well. I just figured you got a lot of sunshine and the lighting is good. It's kind of one of those days. There's blue skies and clouds. There's some real heavy, knock your socks off with rain clouds up there. But like 1 minute it's really dull and the next minute it's really bright. But I have spoken to hubby and we have looked at lighting solutions, and I think we have come up with something. So I'm looking forward to having that happen in the very near future. Anyway, so these are all the products I'm using, making and die cutting out this. I've kind of been keeping an eye in the Facebook Mixed Up Crafters group chat, and some people are finding it hard to die cut out. So this is our main pop-up die right here, and when you die cut it out, it will give you this piece here. Now I have this die cut out on paper that is 250 GSM, and I had no issues with it. I also die cut it out in paper that was 300 GSM, and I had no issue with that either. What I would recommend you do is, there are score lines on this die. So there's 8 score lines, and then the one through the middle is 9. But I would recommend go over the score lines on your scoreboard. And what I have done on my scoreboard is I have some lines on mine. So when I, you know, die cut out something like this, I will kind of use the line that I've drawn and kind of line everything up. So I found going over the score lines on the top half, and then I would rotate it around and do the other score lines. It just helps. If you find that you're having, you know, it's cutting through your paper, then the pressure on your die cutting machine might be a little bit too much. So you might need to adapt that. Like if I'm using, I have a Big Shot Plus, if I use a 3D embossing folder on that, I have to go right off the wall when it comes to what, you know, sandwich I'm using. It's generally the big plate. It's a clear plate. And then I have the cardboard backing off of 2 of my little paper packs, as well as a thick sheet of acetate, and I have found that those work really well together for me. So I'm not using the recommended sandwich because it wouldn't work on a 3D embossing folder for me. So I would really recommend, if you have a die cutting machine and you're finding that, you know, it's not cutting enough or it's cutting your score lines, play with your sandwich and use everything. You know, take out a couple of sheets of computer paper or a couple of sheets of your thickest cardstock and find what will work. And then I have them kind of taped together, and I've put 3D embossing folder, so I know when I want to use that for my embossing, I will pull that out and I know I can go through with that. But it took me a while to get there. So if you're having problems and you cannot figure it out, or it's just not working for you, then do contact Craftworld. Nicola there generally deals with all the emails, and she's so lovely and so good. But I don't think really there has been much complaint regarding that, so that's all a good thing. Becky says, die cutting out was not hard. For me, it was getting it to open how I thought it should after folding and gluing to the card base. Well, now we're going to see how much fun I have with that, because I haven't gone that far. Have I gone ahead and made this card style? And no, I have just got everything here ready to go and hoping it's all going to go well. But you know what? It's cardstock, it's paper, you know, we'll just take it as it comes. So that is those, and I'm going to bring in the different pieces that I have here. So I'm going to make a large showstopper card because it's a birthday card, and you know, I like to give a big birthday card, and postage is so expensive regardless. If I don't post a basic small or like a business, you know, business envelope like a DL, which is generally, I think it's 180. Has it gone up to 220? The last few times I have posted 6x6 cards, whether it was to England, Europe, or somewhere in Ireland, it's cost me €3.50. So I figure if I'm going to pay €3.50 for a card, I'm going to make a big card. That's kind of how I feel. But you could always, you know, drop the sizes down if you want. So I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. And these 2 pieces measure 11 1/4 by 7 1/2. and I've scored both of them at 3 3/4. Now I don't have it wrote down in the description at the moment, but after the live I will go back in, I will add in the products that I'm using. If I can find individual links to them, I will do that. Otherwise the link for Craftworld is there, but I'll also put down all the measurements of what I've done as well. So you'll want 2 of those. One is for your left side and one is for your right, and they should basically line up together in the middle. And if they don't, that's not a big deal either, but mine are lining up more or less nicely, so I'm happy with that. I've got 4 pieces of blue cardstock, and these all measure 3.5 by 7 1/4, and they're going to go on both sides of the doors, both outside and inside. And then for the center part of that, I have a nice blue panel, so it's all going to look the same. And this blue panel, it measures 7 1/4 by 7 1/4, and that's going to go in the middle. So when the recipient opens the card, we're going to have a panel in here like so, and then we'll have our 2 doors either side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put our pop-ups in. So you've seen this one. I'm going to decorate that with you. This is one I've done already. And what I've done is I've taken some of my little, it's the OG original cardstock from a couple of years ago, but whatever cardstock and colors you have will be fine. I've used the dies in the die set, and I have die cut out lots of the shapes, and you can see them all there. And even the little dots and bits that come out of this piece, see all the holes in them? I have saved them and I've put them all in here, because whatever doesn't get put into the center of the flowers, which you can see there, I'm going to dot them around like little gems around my card. So we're going to have one that will be in here and pop up, and we'll have this other one that will be on this side and pop up. It kind of is giving me like lily pad vibes, but I just thought it'd be fun to have these so that, you know, when they close over, and this will be the fun part, when these close over and then as they open, the whole thing will pop up. I thought it'd be fun to have these on both sides popping up. I thought it would look nice. I'm going to add a sentiment in here. Most of the time I use birthday cards, so I generally will do a happy birthday card because that's what I use in my stash for friends and family and for myself. If I need a retirement card, I'll do a retirement card or a thank you card, etc. But most of the time I'm making birthday cards because that's what I use. So do feel free to change your sentiment on the card. Like I said, this would be a great get well card, you know, or happy retirement card, or say it with flowers, thank you, you know. Let's see. Jeanette said mine die cut. Let's try that again. Jeanette said mine die cuts out fine, but I'm having hand trouble and folding them is proving hard for me. Yeah, it can be a bit fiddly, you know, it really can, because you've got to get your creases that are in here. You've got a valley fold and a mountain fold. So getting them to crease over, you know, you just need to take the time. And I will admit, it took me a hot minute because I scored them first and I just took my time doing it. And once I got it, you know, but if you do have issues with your hands, you know, a lot of the time these things can be hard for you. But so it's just a matter of knowing your abilities yourself. But I don't think it's too hard in the grand scheme of things for me. So, you know you better. But yeah, I think once you get these so that these pieces are popping in, and those pieces are popping in, then we can add glue to these pieces here and stick them in. And with your help, we'll decide whether we're putting one up here and whether we're putting one down here, or whether we're putting them side by side. So we'll kind of figure that when we get there. But I do think these are so colorful and so lovely looking. I just love them. And then, like I said, I've just die cut them out in the color of the cardstock that I have. And then I took one single Ohuhu marker. What I did was I took my cardstock color, we'll say like that, and I brought it over to my swatch that I have here. And I just went along until I found a color that I thought would go really nice with it. And I didn't go too light or too dark, just something that kind of, you know, I felt would go well. And I took some of the scraps of the different colors that I've used and kind of tried each marker on them. But I just did one color on them, but I think it does give them a bit of dimension. And then what I did was I took my little foam Sizzix mat, and I took my ball tool, and then what I did was I literally just did that with them. I wasn't giving them any great curve because I kind of felt once they go into the card, they'll flatten out a bit, but paper tends to remember its shape. So yeah, that's what I have done with those, and you can see the different colors that are there, you know, and I think they're pretty. The purple one, it kind of looks very much like I don't have a color on that, but in real life I can actually see the colors. Maybe if I put it on a piece of cardstock there, you'll see it better, you know. But yeah, I had just an audio book on, die cutting those out, and I was happy out doing it. So that's all those pieces. Now for the back of the card, you could just have it, because I've used a white card base, you could just write directly onto the back. But what I've done is I've taken a blue mat and then a white mat layer to put on the back, and I'll probably add a couple of the little flowers or that on the back. I'll need to stamp a sentiment, and again I will do that later. So that's those. I've used my big words, and it's the birthday, and I've done it in silver and white because I figured on the blue card I kind of got a cloud feel from that. I liked it with the blue and the white and with the flowers. So I kind of feel I want to have the happy birthday, which I've stamped my happy, and then I've got one of the sentiments from the large stamp set, which I have, it's there, I'll pull it out, but it's one of them that came with this collection. I hope your day is filled with sunshine and flowers, and I figured I will maybe pop that across the bottom there. So there's not a big sentiment or poem or anything going inside. We've got our happy birthday sentiment, we've got our flowers, and then we've got our single line. So depending on where we put the flowers, we could put our sentiment across like that. But again, we'll figure that out together and we'll do it together. But I have all the bits done. What I'm going to do now is, short of tell you what I'm going to do on the front, because when I was cutting these, I did a little bit of practicing, you see. So I have this one here, and you can see I've used a green one, and you can see I've kind of given a little bit of shading inside. I've done that to this one as well. I hope the lighting is showing that off. And I'm going to do it to this one. And because I have this one folded, I thought, well, maybe I'll show you how I fold on this one. And this is actually going to go on the front. So I thought I would put that on the front. I'm going to leave this flat, and I'm going to add that on there. I'll stick some of the flowers on it. And then on the other side where it closes, I'm going to put a little stamped sentiment, and I'll do it something like this one. if I can get this up. But I will do a smaller sentiment so it kind of sits across like that. So when you open the two, then you'll catch a little bit of the back. But I thought that would be fun to have it going across. So now that is the plan for today. All we need to do now is sit back, do a little bit of stamping and gluing and assembling and chatting. And that's what we're going to do. Becky said, can't wait. This is going to be a grand card. Oh, thanks so much, Becky. And Becky also said, because she's commenting a lot in the chat, which I love, she said, yes, postage is expensive. When I make a smaller card, it gets to bulking and the cost is the same for mailing a big card. Yeah. So I think, do you know what? If you're taking the time to make a special card, kind of cost in the cost of it together, you know. That's what I do. I kind of figure, well, if I'm sending a family or a special friend a card, well, if I was to get them a little gift, it would cost a lot more than the cost of my time to make the card, which is done with love and creativity, and the cost of postage. So I figure when I get a card from someone, they have taken the time and everything and effort into doing that for me. So that's kind of how I feel about it too. Alicia said, that's so pretty and colourful. Thank you, Alicia. Honey Wakeman is in the chat as well. Hi, Honey. She said, hi, Simone. I don't use dies, but I have a Cricut machine. Well, there you go. I mean, you can print up something similar. Or even if it's just to inspire you, whether you have a die or whether you use Cricut that you think, oh, I can cut up on my cutting machine. I can cut out something similar and put it in. Does it have to be a pop-up inside? No, it could just be, you know, some flowers that you stick on and just maybe leave the flowers so they're not stuck down, and you could have that inside. I mean, that's what it's about, really. It's not about having all the things, but if you can take a video or a live and think, oh, I love that card style, or I love that palette of colors, or, you know, be inspired by it, then that's great too. I was going to put half of it each side on the front. Oh, Jeanette thought that would be a good idea, putting half on one and half on the other. Totally. It would look awesome having that flattened on the front. You could then take, we'll say, from your flat, you know, if you have one on this side and one on the other, you could cut out a sentiment here, you know, for a great friend. Sam has lovely circle sentiments, stamps. So you could stamp one of those, die cut it out, or, you know, cut it out on your cutting machine, or use your trimmer or your scissors, and you could have it so it overlaps, but it's just glued down onto one side. Again, you know, it's all about what you can create in your mind and what inspires you. Jeanette said, are all those flowers cut out of little cards? They look so pretty. They are, because I have so much of it down here. I have about 19 full pads of that. I got 45 at the time. So yeah, they're all little card stock, and I just love it. Yeah. Let's see. Good choice. Sounds good. I was going to put, yeah, I was thinking the same. Hazel said, sounds like a great idea. Benita said, love the flowers. They're so pretty. Sarah Pierce says, great ideas come out of mess ups. I agree. I absolutely agree. I've never made a card where I've messed it up and just chucked the whole thing in the bin. Like if I make a card and I get frustrated by it because it's not going the way that I want, generally what I will do is I will take it apart, take bits off it, and kind of think, well, that front panel looks good, and I would just cut the whole front panel off and add it to another card base, or I'll take pieces and parts from it and reuse it in another, you know, in another card. But yeah, there is so much that we can do to be inspired, etc. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join my 2 card bases. Now, although I did 2 large panels that are going to be sandwiched together, you could do one side and then do another with just a 1/2 inch tab, glue that on, and then put your back panel on over it to hide it. But I just found that doing it this way for me was the tidiest, so that's why I'm going with that. What did Jeanette said? Benita's laughing at Jeanette anyway, whatever. It's kind of gone up in the thread. Becky said, I wish I could take a picture of what my mind comes up with and then work it out. Well, do you know what? I have a tablet, a Galaxy S8 tablet. And what I do is when I have ideas, I will stop and I will put them on my tablet. Now, if you have a piece of computer paper, usually when Sam is bringing out a new collection and she's showing us the cards she's made and her lovely designer Hayley has made. If you're watching, Hayley, I hope you're feeling better. I'm sitting there. Usually I'm chatting with Benita. We're watching it together. We're video chatting and watching it. I've usually got a piece of computer paper and I'm going, oh my gosh, this idea with that would be really cool, or this would be really good with that, or, you know. So when you have ideas, write them down and see. That's pretty good there now. That collal glue has really grabbed quickly. That'll do grand. Yeah, so I write them down. I mean, I've been in the shower where I'm like, I've been thinking, oh, I need to make a card. And I want it to be this kind of way or that kind of way. And I'll be like in the shower, or I have a small notepad and a pencil beside my bed. Sometimes I'll get up during the night to go for a pee and I'll come up with a card idea, and I will actually put on the little side light and draw it out, you know, a really rough sketch, just to kind of have it in my eye, the direction I was going in. Because there's been a couple of times where I'd be like, ooh, I'd see something, a stamp that Sam was using or a die that she, you know, has in a new collection. I'd be like, that'd be really cool on this kind of a card, or thinking up a new card idea or design. And then I go off and I'll do something, or I'd go back to sleep and I'd have forgotten it. And I'd be like, damn, what was that card design? So I really recommend. I'm definitely not going to get, I had these marked, look, front and front. So it must be this one. Yes, I think that. Nope, does that go on there? No, I think it goes this way. Doesn't have to line up that way, look. Murphy's Law. This is what happens when you get excitable and chatting and, you know. Yeah, so definitely from all that gabbing, my advice is, if you have a card idea or a card design, definitely draw it on a piece of paper, or, you know, on your phone in a note section of your phone or your tablet or whatever, just so you remember for the next time. Jeanette says, oh my God, I might do that with mine. I was going to take all the sheets out of the pads and do sentiments, etc. Well, there you go. What I did with mine was I took a load of them, about 20 of my little pads, and I took all the pages apart, so I had them in colour blocks. And then as those colour blocks get low, then I just take from the other pads. Becky said, thank you. I have one that I'm not that happy with. Jeanette says, I have a notebook by by the side of me to jot notes. Yeah, I so recommend it. And it was even something that I said to Benita, you know, when she started doing her design team work. I said to her, you know, make a note of the designs you do. That's what I used to do with Love from Lizzie. I had a big book. I actually ended up with 2 by the time I was finished. And what I would do is I would see the next collection and I would have ideas. I'm going to get those 2 right. I would write down February collection, and then I would give myself a little note on what is upcoming in the kit. And then I would think to myself, right, I want to do 10 different card styles. So whether they were just your A2 card with, we'll say, some mats and layers on the front and, you know, some different ephemera pieces on it or whatever, I kind of go through and do my very poor version of artistic design on the front, just with a pencil. Didn't have to be colored in or anything like that. And that way then when I got the kit, I kind of had in my head what designs I wanted to go with, and I would have my 10 card bases, you know, out, and I would go from there. And I just help, especially if you lose your mojo and you don't know what you want to make or do. Think of a card design that you like, you know. I want to make a gatefold card. So have that in your head. Cut yourself a gatefold card and put it over there. And then think, you know, kind of think, right, well, I have a load of sentiments, Sam's big words. I'm going to just go in today and I'm going to die cut those out and go in and do that and then put them in a tub. Do you know, doing little things like that. And that way, if someone comes to you and they're like, I need a card for a 4-year-old, can you make me something? Or if you just think to yourself, I need a card for a 4-year-old or for a sister-in-law or whatever, you can come in and go, well, I have that gatefold card there and she loves flowers, so I'm going to pull out a flower pattern paper and it's for her birthday, so I'll pull out a happy birthday sentiment. And, you know, oh, there's a poem in this collection that's a lovely birthday poem, I'll use that. And before you go anywhere, you know, you mightn't have a mojo, but you have a card design worked out that you want to use. And I found that good. When I came back to crafting after Christmas, just gone there in the new year, 2026, I had lost my mojo. I walked into my craft room and I walked right back out. And it took me about a month, you know, to actually enjoy going back into the craft room. I just wasn't in the right headspace for it. And I didn't know what I wanted to make. And, you know, and so sorting my craft room was a big thing. Die cutting out pieces, die cutting out sentiments and things like that. That really helped. And having crafty friends, people that are all around the world, that don't live near me, but just crafty friends that I could reach out to on Messenger and just chat with. And, you know, that really helped. And if you don't have craft friends, and I think we touched on this on the last live, you know, if you're joining lives or you're in Facebook groups, you'll find that there's a couple of people that maybe comment on what you share or you comment on what they share and respond back to you. You know, you can build up crafty friendships that way. Because I find a lot of us, you know, are in our craft rooms and, you know, are glad of the company. You know, having a YouTube live is great to have on in the background, but sometimes it's nice to just sit and craft with someone. I do that with some of my crafty friends. I was crafting with Avril yesterday while I was preparing next Friday's card. And, you know, we did a lot of chatting, but there was a lot of us just crafting away and making and, oh, what do you think of that? And do you think this looks nice? And you know, that's always lovely too. And I, like with Avril, I didn't know Avril from Adam, as they say. And it was only through seeing her on the Mixed Up Crafters group and, you know, kind of responding in kind in comments in the live chats and stuff like that. That's how I've made friendships, you know. So now we have the base of our card done. We have this to go on here, but I think before I glue this one in, I might actually do this one. So I might just do a little bit of gluing our flowers on. Now you could use hot glue, you could use, I'm going to use my I keep calling it a glue, is it a glue press? My Misty glue press. First thing I want to do is take a green marker, and all I'm going to do with this open is just, I'm going to kind of do an oval shape across it and across the bottom and color that in. And then I'm just going to do some lines. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to throw down this so I don't mark the table. And sorry for the bright lights and the shining and everything. Hope it doesn't affect. And I'm going to try and keep an eye on the comments as well, because I'm really poor at doing that. And I'm just, you can see there, I'm trying to come from where the crease is. I just want to give the look of grass, just for a bit of texture. Now, you could do this using your ink pads and a blending brush, but I do like the results that you get from using a marker, and any marker will do. So, and again, I'm gonna, you can see there, I'm just doing strokes up, and then as it dries, you can see there how it looks when it dries. If I bring that up a little closer, it just adds a little something to it, I think. Do you need to do this? No, you don't. You don't need to do this at all. You can just take your cardstock, die cut it out, fold it and stick it on, and it'll be perfect. Now from my flowers, I might just zoom in. Let's have a look. If I zoom in and move this up a little bit so you can see better. I'm going to start at the flower top, and I'm going to bring a stroke down, stroke or two, so that when I stick the flower on, it's got a little bit of a color differential on that as well. Again, I think you actually see it better than what I'm seeing it on my monitor. So I'm just going to do all that along the flowers, and I'm kind of going a little bit thinner. And again, if you find that the color is very light, you could just go over it as another time with a darker marker, you know, or not do it at all. It's up to yourself. Okay, I'm happy with that. If you're interested, the color I use there is G410. It's grass green, and the cardstock I'm using is the little cardstock. Oh, Laura, I'm sorry that you're finding that a little bit frustrating. I'm just reading Laura's comments there. I'm going to pop back to the table now that we've that done, and we can do a little bit of gluing. Sorry you're finding that a bit frustrating, Laura. I hope you're able to get it sorted and managed. Yeah, it's all about, you know, medications and the whole lot. And it's lovely to see you all having little chats. There you go, in the comment section. This is how you can make friends, reach out to other crafters, you know, and have crafty chats. Benita says it's not the Misty. It's just a glue press. Glue press is enough. I'm winding you up, Anita. I'm winding you up. Yeah. Lots of support there for each other regarding Laura's frustration and problems. Okay, so I'm going to move along and add my flowers now, and I'm just going to pop these on, but before I do, I'm going to bring back in my little mat, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dimension to the flowers, just a little bit, because, you know, they'll kind of, like I said, pop flat after they've been put into the envelope, but paper tends to remember where it's meant to be, so they will hold some shape, and I just think it looks pretty, do you know, when you're putting it together. So now it's just as simple as that. I haven't taken any special effort with the flower. All I'm doing is pressing the ball tool into the head of the flower. You can kind of rotate it around if you want, just to get more shape, but that is all I'm doing. It's pretty painless what I'm doing. And like I said, doing the folding for this is pretty easy as well. So you've got 2 score lines there beside the center flower, and then you have 2 beside that. So what I did was I folded it in half first, and then what I did was I folded this into a mountain, and I pinched all along the edge, and then I cut this one and I pinched this one into a valley, and I just went from the back, pushing up using my nail on the score line on the back, and then bringing the 2 together. And when you do that, if you burnish that down a little bit, either with your finger or with a burnishing tool, if you're going to use a burnishing tool, then, you know, do it nice and gently. Just add a little bit into that, you know, because we don't want to rip or tear anything. And it's the same with the back. It's a mountain from the back side or a valley from the front. So they're just opposites, really. So you have a valley and then a mountain, and then on this side you have a valley, and I'm pinching it on this side, and then you have a mountain on the other. And again, just bring it all in together, and very carefully and nicely just burnish those score lines, and that will help it go back into place. And if Sam's videos are anything to go by, they just go back in, no problem. So now I'm going to open it out again. I'm going to take my pin out. I keep a pin in my glue press, and I'm going to just add some flowers around. And all I did, you could use hot glue if you have hot glue as well. You could pop a bit of hot glue on there and put that in, but I'm just using some liquid glue, and I'm going to pop that in there like that and give it a little pinch, and that should work. And if you're worried about it not catching, you know, you could add a tweezers on there and hold it just for a couple of seconds, and then it's just a matter of adding your little flowers. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to add a few flowers, and then with the one that I want to put on the front, I'm not going to give those much shape at all. I'm going to keep that one flat, and I'm going to tape that down. That way when it's going into the envelope, it will actually, it will sit in there nicely. So all I'm doing is I'm just removing my tweezers from one, and it's just that little couple of seconds that it's taking to hold it on, will hold it in place. And that's what's worked for me. So I'll add that little one on there. And another, this is the fun part of just embellishing and enjoying. So have many of you got this lovely set, and have you made cards with it for anyone in particular? And how did you find using it? Let's see, I might go for a light pink in the next one. There we go. Maureen said, that's what I do with the flowers. It's quite easy to get them folded. Yeah, I found that it was, you know, it worked out quite nicely as well. Okay, the hardest part is picking out what flowers you're going to use where and what colors, you know. Like I've done these all the colors because I just loved that kind of look, but you could do them as all blue forget-me-nots, or, you know, you could, and that would make it so much easier because you know, you wouldn't be having to go, well, I have a purple one and a not, you know. Colors of the flowers are so pretty, Becky said. And Laura said the flowers look so lovely in the tray. They do, don't they? I'm looking at them there on the screen. Look, that one moved. Do you know what? I'm not going to sweat that at all. I got a little distracted. There we go. And I think I'll pop another pink one in there. Now you could, of course, die cut these all out in white and use your markers or your pencils to color these in. But I think it's quicker actually doing them in the colored cardstock. Let's see, I think we'll do a pink one there and an orange one here. And don't forget, like, you can take that pink one and layer this pink one inside, and then layer a smaller pink one inside that, like that, and then take your little center and pop it in. Like, you can, you know, you can really play around with how these all look. But I'm going to keep it fairly simple now for this because I don't want to be here gluing flowers for too long. Lovely. Sharon said, I've just ordered it using your link. Oh, thank you so much, Sharon. That is really, really nice of you to do that. And like I said, it won't cost you anything extra, but I'll get a little kickback from you using my link. So I really appreciate it. These are the little things that the smaller creators, like myself, you know, it really does help us when people do that. You know, when you're not on a design team and you're not, you know, being supplemented by crafty products, you know, crafty companies with their products, it's nice for the smaller creator just to have that little bit of help. So I do appreciate it. I'm going to pop a yellow one on there. I do like this yellow. It's very fun shine, sunshine yellow. Let's see. There we go. And I might do some more blues. I do love the blues. Have we any questions at all? I think everyone is just enjoying the chats and enjoying the make. Hazel said, I have the sets but only cut this one out so far. I lost the others but found them now hiding under my big cotton plates. Well, what I would recommend you do is when you get a collection, is definitely go through it. If there's dies and stamps, go through the collection and make sure you have everything, because there's nothing worse than you open a collection and you haven't, you know, the collection has been out a month or something, and you go ahead and you open the collection, you find out you're missing a die, and then you have to, you know, contact the company and say, look, I'm missing a die, can you replace it? Do you know, that's always kind of hard. So I definitely recommend. I did find with my butterfly, I was missing one of the integral, not integral, intricate, intricate, I had to stop and think there, intricate, the lower wing intricate piece was missing out of mine. And I emailed Nicola, and literally the next day she said, sorry, that's happened. Popping another one in the post. Hopefully it'll be with you soon. Now it has to come to Ireland, so, do you know, it's going to take a week. And I'm very hopeful that I have it by Friday, because I plan to make a card with it. A really cool card sat over there. And so I'm very hopeful that this is going to come before Friday so I can make that card. But yeah, so I really recommend, if you have got the collections, make sure all your pieces are inside, especially because there is so much metal in these collections, you know, and everything is hand packed as far as I'm aware. So yeah. Okay, so that's one done, and all our flowers are on. All I need to do now is add their centers. So I'm just going to pop some glue in there. And what I like to do is take a tip of the glue from my glue gun and then just pop them on like so. So I'm going to do all of those ones first. This is so much fun. What color will we do in there? I think the orange would be fun in there. And then we'll do these. And this one. And I'll do blue. I think blue would go well with the orange. So we'll stick a blue one in there and maybe a yellow one in the pink. Lovely. And then I might do another little dot in those and add a center to them. So I might go with a green one for that. And these are just fun in our head colors, so they don't have to be correct in any way. I'm going to add a yellow one on there. And another two. Let's see what color. I think I'll do a blue one for this. And maybe a pink one for that. Lovely. And now we just need to add some centers into the others. So let's see, we might put a pink one in that. We'll try and get it the right way around. There we go. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. I do that when I get the collections or any order. Becky says, yeah, it's just best to be you know, because they're hand picked, so you just don't know, you know. I'll pop a blue one in there. Doesn't the, like, tipping up the glue with your, I might need to add a bigger dollop of glue in there. I love the little trick of picking up. Now, last night I saw a really cool tip and I said to myself, I must remember this tip and share it with people. I was watching Shirley's live. Well, I caught bits of it while I was watching Benita's, because I do like to kind of support when I see the smaller crafters, even just to pop in and say, hi, I see you're live. I'm busy at the moment, but I'll definitely come back and watch, which is what I did, because I was moderating for Benita. So I couldn't really watch what Shirley was doing, but I digress. Shirley had a great tip. Now, I don't think it was Shirley's tip. Isn't that right, Shirley? You did say it wasn't your tip, but she wanted to add dimension. So what she did was she got a piece of cardboard and she cut it like you would do if it was foam. And she added that to the card and then put her piece on top. I thought that was so clever. I loved it. Thought it was a brilliant idea. And I thought, you know, there's times when you get stuck, or maybe you just, you know, times are tight and it's affording. That one's too big. I want to go for a smaller one. And I want to go for a yellow one. You just, you know, maybe you can't afford the foam tape. I thought that was a very clever idea of using cardboard, strips of cardboard, and that gave dimension to the card. Thought it was fabulous. Let's see. What did Becky say? Yesterday I found the die set I thought was lost. It was in with the mechanism die set. Yeah, I'm a bit oral when it comes to, you know, sorting stuff like that out, and getting it sorted. Okay, we're nearly there now. This I find so therapeutic and relaxing. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I really enjoy doing this type of thing. I really find it brings out your creativity with colours. Let's see. I put a yellow in here. Come on, you little miss, stick in there. Good job. And I think I'm going to stick another colour in there. Pull in the yellow. Lovely. And I put that yellow centre in here. Now, if you had more time, you could, oh look, jigsaw piece them in. That was a nice one. It just fit in nicely. See this one, the blue one here, jigsaw pieced in nicely in there. Yeah, so, and I think, how are we doing? We've got a couple more. I need to add a little bit in here and there. Lovely when you're all fingers and thumbs. There we go. Sorry about that now. My belt is actually rubbing against the edge of the table, making a squeaking noise. We are nearly there, folks, with this one. Maureen said it looks so pretty with the different coloured flower centres. Well, I figured, you know, like I said, you can layer like this into them and then add your little dot in the center. But I mean, you don't have to do it that way. You know, you can do it whatever way you like. And I just figured that's what I like. Where am I? I'm on the last one. We could always go with that one there and maybe put that little pink one and offset it. And then have a little dot in the center. There we go. There's our flowers. Just like that. And like I said, you can layer them up like this one, the pink and the cream, and you can have all your bits. I actually think I'm going to put a little dot in the center there and there. Yeah, and maybe in that one as well. And we might go with a blue for that one. I just think these are so colorful. And I think, you know, not only would it cheer someone up if they're having a bad day, but I think it would, I think a kid would love this as well. You know, it's really bright and get their attention. Now that's one done. So we just have this one to do next. And like I said, I'm going to keep this one more or less flat. I mean, I have these curved up now, but I'm going to put them down on the flat base. So I'll put that like that. And I've got a round one to go in there. Now we could layer this one up another bit. And we could put a yellow in there. And then we can add another bit of glue there. And add a pink center. And let's see if we can... Will I be lucky enough to get this one in the right place? Probably not. Oh, come on. I knew it was too good to be true. Haha. There we go. And then we can add a dot on that. Isn't that lovely? We'll do a nice little blue dot on the front. Turn over. There we go. Yay, that's nice and sunshiny. Let's see if we can do the same again. We might do a orange for Benita. And we'll do purple because Benita loves purple and orange. So we'll do purple and orange. And then I might do another orange in the center. I might need to add a little bit more glue. And then we can do a purple center. And I'm going to layer that little purple center up. Have I got another purple? I do. Oh, need a little drop of glue on there. That lasted ages now, didn't it? As a pickup tool. I find that less frustrating than those wax ones. Those wax ones do my heads in. And I'm going to put another little dot on top of that. Have we got another purple one? We do. We have a smaller one here. Just for a little bit of dimension. And then just clean off your tweezers like that. So there's 2. Lovely. And I'm going to do the smaller ones now. Benita, I'll try and stay awake tomorrow, lol. Oh yes, Benita is live tomorrow evening, 7:30 BST on her channel, which is called Under a Pile of Papers. That's what she's chatting with there. I just saw it in capitals, so hence the reason. And like I said, there's lots of great crafters in the comments, so if you're not familiar, definitely do check them out. There's DD Paper Crafts, DJM Hallett, Under a Pile of Papers. So definitely share your links there in the comment section if you are a YouTube and a creator and you'd like to share with everyone. Just add a little bit of pressure. Let's see. Go with a pink one there. Don't know if I have an insert for that. I have a couple of birds there as well. Let's have a look. There we go, and I'll add a blue center to that, as we have a nice big blue center there. There we go. Lynette said, Simone, I fell asleep during the live, lol. Is it the lovely soft tones of my voice which has put you to sleep while you're sitting there relaxing and enjoying the live? I'll tell you who has a great voice for doing voices is Mike. He does them so well. I hope I'm just not boring you to sleep. Okay, let's see if we can pop that in. And a little color on top. Pop a pink there with the blue. My 2 favorite colors. And a little pop of yellow, I think, in here. Maybe we'll go for that little one in there with the yellow. And a little pop of orange. In there with that. Lovely. Nearly there now, folks. Nearly there. Benita said, I am the boring one, Simone. Not at all. If you were boring, Benita, people wouldn't come to your lives. So don't be silly. Let's see. Lovely. It's just kind of hard when you're when you're concentrating and trying to get the little fiddly bits done. I think we will go for a blue one here. And we'll put a yellow inside. We're nearly there, folks. And we'll put another blue inside that. And then we might pop a little yellow inside that. No, I might go with a little bit of purple. Yay, we're all done. Lovely, and they can be drying as well. So perfect. Okay, right, so what we want to do now is add our flowers inside. So I'm going to fold the little side wings here, fold in, and these fold down over it, and we're going to put them in. Now I think I would like my happy birthday along here like this, and I think these are going to pop up here, and then we'll put our sentiment across the bottom. What do we think? Do we all think that would be a good layout with this like this? And let's pop this one in and close this one up. So it would be like that with the two of these in the middle. What do we think? Do we like that layout like that? Let me know what you think. Give it a thumbs up or a yes. Or do we want like the left one up high and the right one down low, so we can do like a happy birthday like that? Happy birthday with this here and that kind of there. Ooh, I like that. I'm liking this. So which do we want them, in the middle or offset? Middle or offset? Hazel says good layout. Okay, is that the middle? Is it like this or offset like that? Which do we think? Middle or offset? Manic Stitcher said yes. I take it you're saying yes to this one, to having it offset. Benita said that's beautiful too. Jeanette I was going to try top left and bottom right. Well, there you go. Top left, bottom right. Offset, 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 offset. Well, I think that is a resounding offset. So we'll do that. I'll take that happy birthday and pop them there. And then we'll glue these in. I have a little dot of color there. So this is the fun part now. And your guess is as good as mine. Hopefully this is going to work. So I'm going to use my quick grab glue. And I'm going to add that behind. And I'm going to add it up this one flower as well and put that in too. And then we will pop that. And I want to make sure when it's closed. So I'm just bringing it up to just before the score line here, because the card will need to close over. And then I'm going to add a little pressure to that in there, making sure my flowers are on top of that pink one. And then I'm going to add some glue to this one. And we will need to give this a minute to catch for the glue to set. This is the scary thing about doing it on a live. Do you all realize how brave people are when they do stuff like this and they do it on a live? Okay. So I'm just going to give that like 30 seconds or a minute to set, because pulling that up early, maybe we'll put our black on it. like that. And now I can do the other one and I'm not sitting there waiting and watching. So again, I'm folding these in on their fold lines. I'm going to add some liquid onto this one and then we can close the whole card. And hopefully this all goes well. I'll try and get the glue in the right place because I really need to go to Specsavers. Okay. And we will sit that one down here. And again, I'm going to bring it up just before the score line, like that, because our card will need to fold. And then I'm going to add some more glue onto this one. How are we doing there? A frog in the middle would enhance that lily pad idea, but only a happy frog. Yeah, no one likes a miserable frog, do we? And there is a frog in one of Sam's collections, the very happy frog. We could get one of those out. Let's see how we're doing for time, and if you all agree it needs a frog with balloons, sure can't we do that? Do you know, I was only looking for them the other day. I think I used them all up. Okay, and we'll pop that one down there. Now I just want to ensure, yes, that my bottom flower is at the bottom, and I'll add a little pressure there and add a little pressure here. Now I'm going to give that a minute because the glue does need time to dry. Benish said, you all need to check Instagram and YouTube before my live tomorrow because there's a fun hop coming. Simone, what weight card did you use for the mechanism, please? Right, well, the mechanism card that I used is 250 GSM is what it is. I'm just going to make sure. No, it's 220 GSM coloured cardstock. I got a pack of that from Viking Direct. It was a pack of 10 with 10 sheets of each colour. And I find it brilliant. That's what I've used for this. Now, while we have that closed and it colouring, I think I might pop this down here and this can colour in, it can glue too. Now, like we said earlier, you could always have one either side, which would be lovely. I'm just going for the one, and I'm going to put a sentiment here that I'll take out with you and stamp, and I want to kind of have it half set over it, and I have an idea of the one I want. I didn't take it out, but that was my idea. So while we're waiting for the glue to set on those, I am going to glue these ones down. I think I'll leave the flower heads unglued, so there's a little bit of, no, I'm going to glue the whole thing because I don't want these to kind of lift too much going into the envelope. I do love this glue gun, but I find it a little bit frustrating. The tip is quite fine. I do have my, I might pull out my Burley Arts glue. Let's see. I've actually pulled the tip out of this because it was driving me nuts as well. But it might help with gluing this down. And I can pull the glue press out then for doing the finesse work. There we go. Let's see. Right, we'll pop that down. And I think I'm going to pop that down into the middle, like so. And I'm going to take my block and press that down. Now let's find a fun sentiment to put on that before my glue drips everywhere. I'll stick the glue pin in there. It's so beautiful with all the colors, Benita says. What did Anne said? Anne said, my set with the frog arrived today. Simone has enabled me. Well, you know, that's what I'm here to do. Right, so first off, I'm thinking of the round sentiments. Let me see where they are. I was only looking at them. They're probably down the front and I skipped past them. This one, I was thinking this one. See the happy birthday? That in a circle where it's glued on the half. I thought that would be nice. Let your dreams blossom. Life is better with flowers. That's lovely. A basket full of love. Yeah, no, I like that round happy birthday. So let's take that out and let's have a look. I wanted something with like a flower theme. Enjoy your day. New home. This is the worst thing. Hooray for today. That might be a good one as well. Hooray for today. And I can punch that out. Oh, I like that. So we have happy birthday. Hooray for today. And let's see if we can find another one that we like. I don't want a long sentiment. We could have relax, it's your birthday. I like relax, it's your birthday. Or let's celebrate you. I wonder what that one would be nice there as well. I think those three is a good... I think that was one of the sentiment packs as well that came. Yeah, okay, so now let's find our frog in case we decide to use that, because do you know what? It's only 3:30. And to be honest, if I'm here till 5, I'd be doing better than the last one. There we go. There is our lovely frog. And what I did was, on the stamp, he has a chin. But it looked like a sad smile. So I went and cut it off so I could make my frog happy. There he is there. There's the original guy. And I cut out the chin so I could make him look like that little guy. Do we want to put a frog in there? I think so. Let's keep that out as well. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. Right. Okay, do we want 1, which is the circle happy birthday, 2, which is hooray for today, or 3, relax, it's your birthday? 1, 2, or 3 to go on the front. Which one do we want? Give us your votes now. There's Avril back from the dentist. Hi, Avril. I hope you didn't have too bad an experience at the dentist. So let's see, 1, 2, or 3. I wouldn't put happy birthday on the front if it's going inside. Well, exactly, Kay. Well, exactly. But you know, we can do whatever we like. It's our card. So you definitely won't be voting for stamp 1 then. 2 or 3 will be for you. So let's see. Relax, hooray, or happy birthday. Which one do we want? 1, 2, or 3? I know it's off screen there. 1, 2, or 3. Let me know. Avril and Benita both carry 2 votes. So if one of you could let me know in capital writing which one you think is the best. Becky is going for hooray for today. So that's 2. 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. Only half my mouth is numb, Avril said. Well, as long as it's the half you can eat with, you'll be all right. Jeanette said 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes, 2 or 3. Hooray. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Lynette went for 1. 2 is winning, Benita said. So I think hooray for today is the one that's won out there. Brilliant. And 2, 3. Okay, so we're going for 2. Now, are we frog or no frog? Let me know. Yes for a frog, no for no frog. So give me a yes or a no, so I'll know whether to stamp the frog and we can colour him in. Yes or no for the frog. And I'm going to move this out of the way because it might as well be there, you know, closed and the glue set. And I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm honest, to open it. But sure, I'm here with friends, so it should be all good. Froggy is always fun. Frog, frog, frog. Yes, yes, frog. Yes, yes. Froggy is always fun. Yes, yes, yes. So I think we're going for the frog. So I need to stamp both of them out. Now we also need a sentiment for the back, but for that, I was thinking of putting happy blooming birthday on the back. Now, we could always go, it's your birthday, it's your day, let's all shout hip hip hooray. I also liked birthday wishes just for you, hope your day is beautiful too. So, I might need to write all this down. Are we going with number 1, happy blooming birthday? I know we have happy birthday inside, but we've got happy blooming birthday. We've got hip hip hooray for your, it's your birthday, it's your day. Aren't we going for hooray for today? So hip hip hooray would actually go with that. That's number 2. We've also got birthday wishes just for you. I hope your day is beautiful too. That's 3. Yeah, I think 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3 for that. Happy blooming birthday. It's your birthday. It's your day. Let's all shout hip hip hooray. That's number 2. Or birthday wishes just for you. Hope your day is beautiful too. 1, 2, or 3, guys. 1, 2, or 3. Yes is winning for the frog. We're definitely going to do that. 1, 2, or 3 for the back of the card. Avril likes 3. Birthday wishes just for you. I hope your birthday is beautiful too. Caroline likes 2. Anne likes 1. Happy blooming birthday. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2. 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've 4 3s. 2, 3. We've 5 3s. Have we 5? 1, 2, 3. We've 5. Yeah. 3 is winning, Benita says, because Avril and Benita both get 2 votes. They're moderators. I can do nothing about it. They'll kill me. 3 is winning. So 3 is birthday wishes just for you. I hope your day is beautiful too. Okay. Lovely jubbly. So we've got some stamping and some colouring with our Ohuhu markers to do. So I'm going to pull out my stamping platform. I'm going to make a bit of space now and move everything up and over a little bit, just to give me a bit more room. Pop that in there and that up there. We'll move our beautiful flowers. Now I do intend to use the little dots around the card and pull some of our colour in. If you have enamel dots, you could use those. We could go with that green. Now I'm going to keep that green out because we did use that already, so we'll be keeping our colours. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is grab a piece of cardstock, find a straight edge, and I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair for this. And I'm going to, this is going on the back, so we'll stamp that on there. I want to take out my Hooray for today. Do I have a frog there? Oh, I have one cut out but not stamped. I'm going to put that in the middle so I can either die cut or punch that out. Let's see how we're doing. And I'll give that a minute for the ink to transfer. Perfect. Now I'm gonna, ooh, I've got a lovely little scallop. Oh, it's too small. Shame. I used that for something else. Okay, I'm gonna leave that to dry in there. And I'm going to take a little bit of water, give my cloth a little squeeze, and then clear off my stamp because I like to do that. Oh, do you know, I was just thinking to myself, I'd love an old cup of tea. Thank you, Mad Mike. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, sorry for the ASMR. Right, I'll move that out of the way. Pop our Hooray back down. That's that done. So we'll pop that back up there. Now we need another little piece of cardstock for our frog. I need a fatter one than that, I think. There we go. Put that on there. He's so cute. So you can see there in this, he has a frown, but if you, I don't know if you can you see there's a hole there? That's where I cut his frown out. So all I do is I will just draw in using a fine liner pen the smile I want. So you can give him a quirky one or a little bit of a squiggly. You can add whatever kind of a face you want. I have actually stamped these out and then I have used my computer to mirror flip the image, and I was only looking at them today thinking I should really print them out and colour them up and have them. Let's see how he looks. He looks very good. I'm going to pull it up, and just in case, I'm going to stamp him a second time so that if anything happens, I've got a second one. Lovely. Okay. Great, that'll do nicely. Now I'm using not Memento, I'm using VersaFine Clair ink. So it just means it needs a little minute extra to dry. You could give it a little blast with your heat tool if you wanted. But I like to live life on the edge. Usually I would give it about 15 or 20 minutes if I was going to colour with it straight away. But it should be good to go. So that's our stamp. We do actually have the Make-A-Wish, the Let's Celebrate. Let's celebrate your birthday, hip hip hooray, with friends and family near on this very special day. Celebrate with cake, will it be one slice or two? You deserve the very best, with love from me to you. So, I mean, if you wanted, that would be a fab one to put on the back. Now, I know we voted with the birthday wishes just for you. Hope your day is beautiful too. But would the Make-A-Wish be better on there? What do we say? Yes to Make-A-Wish or no? So is it yes to use this poem instead or no? Let me know what you think. I'm going to leave it out. And if you think I should use that poem instead, say yes. But if you think I should stick with what we have, then say no. Yes or no to changing our poem. Lots of hi, Mike. Good job, Mike. Hello, Mike from Carmen. Wonderful he is. Oh, he has his moments now, but he is a good guy. Yes, yes, no, no. Yes, 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 yes. No, yes. So Pauline reckons no. Hazel reckons no. Donna says no. But we've got yes from Kay and Maureen and Avril and Lynette and Jeanette and Helen. Yes from Rita. Hi, Rita. I don't think I said hi to Rita. Rita Letters is there. Becky said it's really up to you. Lynn says yes. And Lynette, Manic Stitcher, says, hi, Mad Cuz. I think those two have a bit of a love relationships going on through the internet there, don't you, Lynette? With my mad hubby. I think it's an overwhelming yes to go with the Make-A-Wish poem. Mike's 1 in a million. He is. More ways than one. I think we're going with that. Would my moderators agree? Avril, Benita? We're a yes on the Make-A-Wish. Benita said yes is winning. Okay. Oh, that's a jolly good cup of tea, guys. Okay, let's, oops. I'm going to do that now and it can be drying. So I'm going to stamp that on and I'm going to use the stamping positioner. While we have it out, we might as well use it. I do like this poem. I do love making up some poems myself, but I figured I'm using the Made to Surprise products, so I would stick with that for today. So we want this in the middle, more or less like that. Lovely. I think that's about right. And it doesn't look too wonky. Let's have a look and see. It's more or less straight. I mean, it's handmade cards, so yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, and this stamp is well seasoned, so I don't need to prep it or anything. But I'm going to put plenty of ink on it. And again, we're going to give that time for the ink to transfer on all the lines. And we can just have a look. That's lovely. I'm one and done with that. Brilliant. And again, I'm going to clean my stamp. And I'm kind of looking at it to make sure I have it nicely cleaned. All I have is a microfiber cloth that I'm using and some water on it. It looks manky. It's clean. It's just stained. But I do like to, you know, for the sake of how long extra does it take? You know, it doesn't take long at all just to stick it back on. This way up. I'll pop that on there. Lovely. And now I know it's clean. And the next time I go to use it, if I sit it down and I'm like, oh, I need to move it, but I didn't put it in clean, then it's going to leave mark on the paper. And that's why I do that, because I was loath to do it before. And I was always like, oh, darn it, I should have cleaned the stamp. So I'm kind of a bit about doing that now. So again, I'm going to let this dry. Pop that over there. I'm going to move my tea. And I'm going to put it up on the windowsill there, out of the way. Because I don't want the incident with the coffee that Sam had with one of her cards. Luckily enough, she'd finished recording and taking pictures, had the image, had the card on the desk, and her coffee spilled. And yeah, that the idea of that happening freaks me out. Okay, so the green I have here is 12-6. So line 12, number 6. So I have that green there. So I might pull out this green. So this is YG413 and it's 12-3. So if I go here to line 12 in 3, that'll give me those. Now I have my blends here so I can pull out a blend, but I'm just going to do a 2-color blend. Now I do need 2 balloons. Okay, so I might go with the purples. So that is line 5, number 4, 5, number 6, and 5, number 7. So what I've actually done is where my swatch sheet is, I don't know if you can see it. So I have the marker numbers V08 or V57 or V34, but then in my stand behind me I have the numbers down along the side and across, so I can go, right, this is row 5 and it's the 4th one in. This color is row 5 and it's the 6th one in, and this is row 5 and it's the 7th one in, and I can pick up my 3 colors, and it's just for ease of doing it. So if we do a purple, should we do pink for the other one or orange? We've got one balloon is purple. What color should we do for the second balloon? So have a look at the color chart there, guys, and let me know what color you think we should do for the second balloon. And I am going to start doing a little coloring on my frog. So, and like I said, I'm just going to do a 2-color blend for our little frog today. And I'm not doing anything particularly smashing or groundbreaking. Our dark colours kind of need to be where our shadows would be, but they don't have to be. So there's one. Well, we all knew Benita was going to pick orange. 2 favorite colors of Benita, orange and purple. So we have the purple. What other colors do we like? Avril says pink. Love you, Avril. Pink's my color. Yellow. I like that, Becky. Yellow and purple are nice with the green. Oh, there's Benita, I think you're paying people, are you, to say orange? We have another yellow. Pauline says orange. Donna says orange. Oh my gosh, the orange is winning. That's so funny. Orange it is then. Are we set on the orange? So now the color that I just used was my lighter color, and I'm going over where I did that with my darker color. And then I'm going to go back in with my lighter color. and just fill those in. I'm filling in a circle because he would definitely have a round belly. But like I said, I am not a particularly amazing colour. So, and I'm just going to go back in then again with a little bit of the dark and pull out those shadows again. Okay, and then as quick and as easy as that, I'm going to pull out my black liner. And I'm just going to go over the eyes a little bit. Right, so that is our frog, and I've just coloured that with G410, grass green, and YG413, which is fern green. And I'm going to do the purples now. And I like to kind of put my three colours in order, so I know this is my dark, middle and light. So I'll go dark first. And I'm just simply going to do them in like a C shape. Whether this is right or wrong. And then I'm going to pull in my lighter shade. And color that in. There we go. And now for the orange. Well, the purples were V08, which is light violet, or V57, which is dark lilac, and then we had RV34, which was faded lilac, and I will write those in the description below. And now for our orange, I think we will go for, I'd go for this blend here. I like that blend, I think. So I need row 9, and I'm 9 in. So that one, 9, 10, and 12. So that's our three colors there. So I'm going to bring my dark color from here. And I'm going to bring that down to my tip. Then I'm going to go in with my next color. And then my lightest color. Now, if any of you want to see a really good colorist, Benita is really good. Deb Hallett does coloring, phenomenal colorist. Really recommend. There's lots of really great tutorials on YouTube. So just put in your Ohuhu, Honolulu's, or whichever they are, and you will get lots of videos. So there we go. There is our little frog and his balloons. Now you could put accent glaze on the frog. Our three colors in the orange were YR513, which is papaya, YR511, which is pale coral, and YR17, which is sunset orange. So they're the 6 colors that I used for that. I'll pop those over there. So now we do have a die that we can die cut this out. So I'm going to pull that out. There's our little froggy die. And I'll pop those back in. And I'm going to pull out my Scout to die cut our little frog. I think I'll also pull out a circle die for our Hooray, as we have that out. I do have, do I want to go straight? Yeah, I'll go with a straight die for this. And let's see. I think that one will fit perfectly, so we'll go for that. Any nesting die you have in your stash would be good. Becky, sorry. Becky said yellow, yellow. We've gone with the orange. I think orange actually blew it all out of the water, so reluctantly it's orange. Avril said yeah. Green and orange are great together. They are. I mean, I think he looks very fun. So I'm going to take a little bit of double-sided tape. If you don't know me, you'll know I hate using dies. I'm a fussy cutter because I just find using dies, you can never be sure you're going to get an even cut. And I hate the thought that it might pull the colouring off. Okay, where's my base plates? Here they are. I'm missing something. Okay, and I'm going to trim this down because it might be a little bit wide for the Scout. So I mean, that colouring was very easy and very basic, but I think you'll agree it gives a great look, you know. So you don't have to be particularly good, you know. There we go. There is our little frog. Okay. There we go. Yay! Isn't he gorgeous? That'll do, donkey. Right, let's die cut out our Hooray. If you're enjoying the video, please do give it a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate that. There's a thumbs up button down there. If you can't see it because of the chat, then just, you know, push the chat away for a second and you'll see the thumbs up button. Okay, I think that's pretty centered there. I'm going to be very bold and I'm not even, oh, do you know what? I might use a bit off this as it's there. We'll just stick it down because it'll be Murphy's Law and move. Okay, let's go. Then we can open the card and fingers crossed everything goes well. Oh my goodness. Your little friend, definitely, yeah. Fabulous colouring. Well, you see how basic it is there, Hazel. You know, you don't have to be an amazing colourist for little things like that, you know. Oh, that's lovely. And it's got the stitching around it as well. So that works really nicely. That'll do perfectly for that. Okay, so we just take those dies and I'm going to pop them into my little space there. Everything in its place and a place for everything. And I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to pop that in here and I'll add the dies into that later. Right, okay. Let's have a look and see how we're doing. If you're enjoying this live, please do give it a thumbs up. Oh, I kind of want to have a look before I show everyone. Okay. Yay, it worked. Oh, yay. That is great. Oh, wow. Isn't that fab? Maybe if I had it on all the screen, I'm so relieved. I love that. That is so cool. Yay. Are we liking it? Ta-da! Jeanette said, ta-da! Indeed. I mean, you could take more of them and actually, like what I've done on the front there, you could have some under, you know, underneath. You could really build up the flowers. I think would be so cool, but I'm very chuffed. I'm very chuffed with that. I really, really am. Okay, so on the front, I want to do my hooray, and I kind of, this is how I was envisioning that to kind of sit over like that. What do we think? Do we like that with that front piece? And I think I'm just going to glue it straight on. So I'm going to kind of, I need to do from there. Glue that on, and then I'll know that's done. And then we can work on the inside, and then we'll finish up with the outside. So let's see. Hooray for today. Hooray for today. And I know you can see it from the other side, but that doesn't bother me at all. But I do love the way, you know, that goes over. And when I'm going to take a few little of the little colored dots there, and I'm going to add a couple around and a couple around this. But I do like having it just on one side. It's like a sneak peek at what's going on inside. I do love that. Okay, so for the inside, and our card will stand up like so. Now, I know the flowers are kind of looking down, but most people will have that on a shelf or on a, you know, a mantelpiece kind of a thing. So I think it should be fine. The birthday I'm going to put there, and I'm going to add it on some foam. And I have more foam coming. I've ordered more foam, and I've ordered it in the white. So hopefully that'll come in the next few days. So let's see, we'll put our bit of foam there and some here and another piece, I think, for in the middle. And I'll throw those down in the bin. And then we'll add that in there. Okay, so I think my birthday will go just there, like so. And then we can stick our happy down. And I'll stick that flat down. I don't know whether it looks more like water or like the sky, the cloudy background. I think it really does give a look of water in this setting. I do like that. Now we've got our frog, and he is going to go here, and we've got our little sub-sentiment to go down here. So I might actually tuck it just in there like that. It could go there. And then we have our little frog. So kind of something like that. Or do we want our this one to go up here? I think it's going to be, I think we'd get away with that. Something like that. What do we think? Do we want our sentiment up there under the birthday or down here? I kind of think down here with our little frog kind of set on top of it. I do like that, and I might pop that up on some foam as well. I like that the flowers are loose. Yeah, I like that too. I like that they kind of sit down, you know, and you can, like Sam said, you can give them a little bit of a curve out so that they sit back a little bit, you know, just like that. But you can finagle it and have them as you like. I like the idea of putting a little bit of accent glaze in the middle of them too. Right, I want to put a little bit of foam underneath these, so I might actually, I've got these little strips. I think I'll use these are Amazon strips. I think they might be nice on there. They're not too deep, so 2 of them will fit nicely in there, and then I'll add another little bit onto the end here, and then our frog can sit on that. Maybe cut the sentiment in half and stack it, Avril said, on the left hand side. Yeah, we could do that. Actually, that is a good idea, Avril, because then it, you know, we have this going on here and we'll have that going on there. So where do we need to cut it? I hope your day is filled with sunshine and flowers. What do we think? There we go. So I hope your day is filled with sunshine and flowers, just like that. And we can have our little frog there then. Oh, what do we think? What do we think of that? Guys, I think we're making a great card together. Huh? I better put my, I'm going to need that now for the little frog. Right, so we'll pop that one up first. This is coming along nicely. And we have 46 watching. Thank you so much to everyone who's watching at the moment. I really appreciate you being here and supporting me by being here. So I think I'll get my squeezers and put that down like that. Does that look straight? I think it is. And then we'll do this one next. There's 1 and 2. Sorry guys, I haven't been kind of keeping a look in the comments. Yep, that is cool. Becky, I looked at that comment, I was like, what? Becky put in God in capital letters. She meant good, which she then put in capital letters underneath it. But initially I'm like, what? What? Okay, and I'm going to offset this over here. Lovely. And then we're putting our little frog there. I kind of think he needs to be up on foam. What do we think? Should I put him on foam? It's gorgeous, Simone. Lynette said, oh, thanks. And it's in capitals, so I couldn't miss it. But Edith said, this is such a sweet card. It makes me smile. It makes me smile. I feel really happy, you know. This is bringing me joy. And I was so nervous about opening it and it working. So I'm really, really happy. Oh, thank you guys for all the love. I'm getting lots of love. So whoever is hitting that love heart on the screen, thank you so much. Foam on foam. Yes, foam for the frog. Good, good. Yeah, lovely. Let's do that. Let's put our little man up on a bit of foam as well. So we'll cut this and this should work. Perfect. Okay, we'll put a little bit behind him there. And a little bit behind the balloons, maybe one there. I'll need another piece. A little bit less, Simone. Okay. I've got a bit left over. I squeeze that in anywhere. No, I'll put it back on the sheet. Waste not, want not. Or is it want not, waste not? Okay. So we'll pop that down. It's really cheerful colours, Avril said. So beautiful. Deborah said on foam, love it. And Lynn said yes, on foam. I think I'm going to kind of have him so he's like sitting there on the sentiment. Just like that. What do we think? He's in. Lovely. Right. Before I do any more, I'm going to add a few of the little dots that are over from what we've die cut out. I just think that'll be fun. So if you have gems, you could use gems. Do you know, but like, what do you usually do when you've cut the inner bits out and you're left with all those little bits? Like, we can use them on the other flowers that are there, but why not use them as a little decoration, you know? And it pulls that color that we've been using. You know, all those colors are pulled in. Put one there and a little one here. Do you know, we might as well use them than throw them away. And they all match. So when you don't have gems, I think this is like the next best thing. I think, where's the purples? There's another purple. Might use a bigger bit of glue for that one. There we go. And the glue will dry, so I know I'm being a bit carefree with the glue oozing out, but I'm gonna pop a green one on there as well. And a yellow one. No, I have a yellow one up there. I think I want to go with a, where's the orange? I don't have a lot of orange. Oh, and I have a little bird. I was going to pop a little bird up there too. What do we think of adding a bird? I don't know if I want that on there now. I've got a pink and I might do a darker pink. And I might do another little one just there. Do that in a yellow. Bring down some of the yellow. What do we think now? I mean, they're very subtle, but I do love them. And I think I'm just going to keep it to the center panel because everything is going on in the center panel. I do want to put another one just there, and I might put a pink one there. Oops, I dropped it. Lovely. I love that. Tweet, tweet. Jeanette said, thanks for a lovely live. Aw, you should feel elated, Simone. It's a fantastic card. Oh, lovely. We just need to put the back on now. So I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to bring around. And I'm going to grab my clow. And I think we need to add some flowers to the back. What do we think? Should I just add a couple of flowers around the sentiment just to tie it into the back, and maybe a couple of the little dots on there as well? Flew out of my hand. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try that again. So what time is it? 4:15. We started at 2, so we're 2.25 hours. I'd say all told, I probably worked on this card for maybe 2 hours, allowing for the flowers. But you've got the live now to go with, so you kind of know what you're doing. Just thought there, oh my God, did I put it on upside down? Okay. So I'm going to turn that over. Yeah, it is the right way. I'm doubting myself. I just want to add some pressure to that from the back. What do you think, guys? Should we embellish the back with some flowers? I mean, unless you're all done and you've had enough. I kind of think a couple of flowers on the back would be nice. I do want to embellish the front with a couple. I might put 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3 there. Let's see. A little yellow. Now, a little bit of glue to my tip. Just like that. While the back is drying, we can add a couple of these on here. And I know the blue isn't really, it is a different color blue. And I'm going to add, no, I won't add a green. I'm going to add a pink. Do you know, some of these, when I was die cutting them out, I kind of flipped them off into the bin. And I'm really kind of sorry now that I did that. I think a lot of my oranges and purples went into the bin because I haven't got a whole lot of them left. Okay, so we have a couple there and there. I like that. And now we'll add, I think if we put one of our flowers at the bottom there and maybe layer it up. Oh, that's my tummy. I do apologize. Like one there and maybe a smaller one. Like that, and a little yellow. What do we think? I think that'd be nice. Just 2 little flowers on it and a couple of the little dots. So I'm going to do that. Add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to flatten these down a bit so that they glue on easier. And this one, flowers would be nice, Rita said. Yeah, I agree. Kind of ties it all together. It's nice to have that, I think, because even if it's, you know, if you're doing a regular card style where everything is going on out at the front, sometimes you go into the inside and there's just a sentiment there, and it kind of feels like, oh, that's a pity. Do you know? Like you could have pulled that in and tied that into it. So there's one flower, and we'll do another little bit here. So I hope you've enjoyed the later time of the live, because normally I go live at 10:30 on a Wednesday. If I go live on a Wednesday, I normally go live at 10:30. But as I've been covering for Sam, Oh, Avril said pizza's here. Power's been gone all day. Oh, sugar. That sucks. But yeah, I've been covering, I'm just covering for Sam while she's on holidays. I thought it'd be fun to, as the brand ambassador, kind of fill in her spot for her. So I hope you've been enjoying it, and the fact that you're getting your made to surprise fix. I think I'll do a nice orange in there. I think that's the biggest little orange drop I have. Maybe if I go with a blue and then stick an orange in the center of that, you'll see it. I've got a little orange drop there. So definitely when you're die cutting out these flowers, don't throw away all the little inserts that fall out. Oh, come on, go down there. Lovely. And I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of little dots there as well. And I'm doing odd numbers because odd numbers are always good. So we'll go with our yellow. Oops. Turn over. Oh, turn over. There we go. Yay. And a pink and a blue. And then we have another pink. And I think we'll go green. Lovely. Yay, we're done. We are done. And today we used the, let's take it out. We've used the Floral Pop-Up Mechanism die. And we have made a gatefold because a gatefold is a great card for this style of pop-up. So we have our front panel, hooray for today. And then we have our pop-up flowers with happy birthday. I hope your day is filled with sunshine and flowers. And we have our fun little frog in there with all those flowers. And then on the back, we have our Make-A-Wish sentiment and our flowers on the back there. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed the live today. I'd like to thank everyone who joined me. There's 47 of you watching at the moment. The live will stay up and available for you to watch. So if you've just come onto the live and you've missed the start, you can go back and watch it from the start. I'd like to thank everyone who watched the live and commented in the chats. It was absolutely lovely having you. I do love having a live and having all the chats with you. I'd like to thank my moderators. We have Avril and Benita. Benita is going live tomorrow evening at 7:30 BST. So if you want to see more fun things, I think Benita is using Pajama Stamper Crafts stamps. So she'll be doing something fun with that. I'll be live again on Friday at 10 a.m. which is Sam's usual slot. So I'm going to use the pop-up butterfly, and I'm putting it in a card base, but I'm doing something fun and different with it. Something that involves circles. I'm not saying any more. That's all I'm going to say. So if you would like to see another fun style of card using more of the pop-ups, then do join me at 10 a.m. Is it 10 or 10:30? Anyway, there'll be links in the description. I think it's 10:30. I have it set as an upcoming. 10 o'clock is very early, guys. It's very early. Yeah, I think it's 10:30. Benita, can you confirm that for me by any chance, or Avril? Let's see. Great live, Simone. Thanks so much. Jeanette's going to miss Friday as she's going to the new M&S food hall. Oh, wow. Food there is savage. Gorgeous card, Donna said, and a great live. Thank you. Helen said, thanks, Simone. Jeanette, love it. Lynn, oh, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. I know you've been childminding, babysitting, but lovely to see you there. Thanks so much. I don't know when you came in, but thank you so much for joining. Beautiful card, she said. Maureen said, thank you, Simone, for a lovely live today. Really enjoyed it. The same, Lynn. Thank you, Simone. See you Friday morning. And Carmen said, sounds good. See you tomorrow, Benita. Thanks, Simone. Fabulous card. Thank you for the live. That's lovely. Thank you, Simone. See you on Friday. So that's it, folks. Again, thank you so much for joining me. There are links in the description below. They are affiliate links, but they don't cost you anything extra to use them. Don't forget, if you enjoyed my live, to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. So if you're new to me, that you will come back again. And until next time, folks, thank you so much. Take care and bye for now. Bye.